stunner. And a high-tech mountain railway speeding skiers to the summit. But on the opening day of the season, the new train erupts into a fiery inferno. 155 people perish in 9 minutes. One man will emerge a hero of a perilous mountain rescue. Now, with cutting-edge computer technology, we reveal exactly what went wrong. Disasters don't just happen. They're a chain of critical events. Unravel the fateful decisions in those final seconds from disaster. Europe. Austria. The village of Capron. November the 11th, 2000. Thousands of skiers and snowboarders crowd into the resort for the opening day of the winter sports season. What makes Capron so popular is its giant glacier, the Kitzsteinhorn. It's a mountain of ice that never melts, whatever the weather, making skiing possible even in summer. A high-tech ski train rises 1,500 meters through solid rock to land skiers near the summit. Next to the upper station, a restaurant and shopping mall. At 8:45 a.m. Skiers and snowboarders celebrate the season start. People light firecrackers. Torsten Gradler, part-time firefighter from Germany, arrives for the big day with 49 members of his ski club.
That particular trip was the first outing of the year 2000.
Thomas Kraus has just joined the club. He's looking forward to his first glimpse of the glacier. To reach the slopes, skiers have a choice: a standard cable car or a high-tech train called a funicular.
Most of the group headed for the funicular. I thought to myself, that's bound to be fast.
He joins 29 other club members lining up for the high-speed summit train. The 3.8-kilometer ride should take just 9 minutes, 4 minutes faster than the cable car. 8:57 a.m. 161 passengers crowd on board, among them some of the world's top skiers. Sandra Schmidt holds an Olympic gold for Germany. And Sebastian Geiger, who's just 14, is junior champion. Today, there's an entire American family on board too. US Army Major Michael Goodridge, his wife Jennifer, and their sons, 5-year-old Kyle and 7-year-old Michael. A longtime member of Torsten's club, Manfred Hiltel, thinks nothing of taking the train.
I've been skiing for decades and regularly travel in cable cars, chairs, lifts or funiculars. I didn't give it a second thought.
9:02 a.m. Control room staff keep tabs as the train pulls out of the valley station. First, it crosses a spectacular 600-meter ravine before entering a steep tunnel that climbs through the mountain. For the passengers on board, the upper valley with its ideal skiing conditions should now be just 9 minutes away. But today will be different. The train first opened its doors in 1974. It was an engineering triumph, the first of its kind. An underground train inside a mountain, climbing at speeds of 25 kilometers per hour up a steep 30-degree incline. In 1993, it was modernized, giving it a sleek, futuristic look and making it the pride of Austria's ski resorts. The system is ingenious but simple. There are 2 trains, each one balancing the other. As one climbs, its twin across the tunnel descends. At the top station, a powerful electric motor and pulley system pulls the trains up and down the track. Neither train has an engine or fuel. There are no drivers, just an attendant at the front of the train who operates the doors. Each train has 2 coaches with 8 separate passenger compartments. There's a cab at the front and the rear of the train for the attendant who switches back and forth as the train travels up and down. It can carry up to 180 passengers. Every day, more than 1,000 people use the train, and it enjoys a perfect safety record. Until now. 9:02 and 3 seconds. The 161 passengers are spread through the train. Thomas Kraus is in the last compartment. Just 20 meters out of the station, he spots something.
The first unusual thing I noticed was the smoke. It was like a cigarette that you put down for a moment.
Thomas is at the back of the train near the empty attendant cab, which is only used for the downhill trip. Smoke from the cab starts to seep into the rest of the car. Passengers grow concerned, then agitated. There are no smoke alarms to alert either the train attendant or the control room. One passenger tries to make a call for help on a cell phone. Others bang on the rear wall of the coach. But no one hears them. "9:04 a.m. The train enters the tunnel, cutting off cell phone signals. And there's no way to contact the attendant at the front of the train. He's more than 50 meters away, totally unaware of the crisis unfolding in the rear compartment.
You could already see fire flickering, licking upwards. The word got round, and people inside the compartment realized that there was a real problem.
9:05. 600 meters into the dark tunnel, the train suddenly stops. The control room contacts the attendant to find out what's going on, but he has no idea. He didn't halt the train. "9:05 and 30 seconds. The rear coach is now filling with toxic smoke. But there's no emergency door release. The 161 passengers are trapped. "9:06 a.m. As the blaze in the empty attendant's cab worsens, toxic smoke fills the passenger compartments. Torsten Gradler is one of the skiers trapped in the blazing rear coach.
The man next to me, who is also a member of our ski group, tried to pull the door open by grasping the rubber seal.
But the doors won't open, and some people are starting to panic. Torsten and another man try to smash the windows with a ski pole. But they're made of shock-proof plexiglass.
It was very, very difficult. He had to use extreme force just to make a hole.
At last, they break the window and think they're free, only to find another pane of glass behind it. Then suddenly, the dangerous situation turns desperate. Flames from the empty attendant's cab burst into the compartment. The terrified passengers have nowhere to go. "9:08. Up until now, the attendant at the front of the train hasn't seen the blaze. Now he realizes what's going on. He alerts the control room. They tell him, open the doors and get the people out. At that exact moment, the intercom dies, and all contact with the burning train is lost. Operators in the control room have no idea what's going on deep within the mountain tunnel. Meanwhile, Torsten Gredler's efforts to smash the windows pay off. And he and the other passengers dive out of the train.
I was the last one to leave the compartment. And by that time, flames were all around my head.
But in other compartments, passengers are still trapped.
Some people just stood there, not moving at all. They appeared to have been overcome by the smoke and paralyzed by it.
"9:11 a.m. At the station, an operator in the control room calls for help. For those few who've managed to escape the stricken train, the nightmare continues. They must find a way out in the smoke-filled darkness. They face a life or death decision. Which way to go? Up, away from the fire, or back down, past the fire? Torsten Gredler has been a volunteer fireman in his hometown for 25 years. His instinct tells him to head down. The emergency stairs run right through the tunnel to the exit 600 meters away. But first, he has to clamber across the rails wearing ski boots.
The ski boot on my right foot got stuck in the rails, and I just couldn't wrench my right leg free.
Fellow ski club member Thomas Kraus is already on the staircase. He sees his friend trapped on the track, surrounded by the flames.
I gave him a hand, and the two of us ran past the train.
With his ski boot now free, Torsten tells Thomas, Manfred and others to climb downwards. But the emergency steps are narrow and very steep, and they're slowed down by their bulky ski gear, making progress agonizingly slow.
It was dark. I stumbled because I couldn't get into a rhythm. My ski boots were like plaster casts. Running downhill in them was extremely difficult.
Under Torsten's guidance, the desperate group tries to stay together. Above them looms the burning train. Its cables could snap at any moment, sending the 40-ton train roaring down the tunnel towards them. At last, the 12 skiers emerge into the daylight. They're exhausted and terrified, but alive. "9:23. 149 passengers and the train attendant are still stranded inside the blazing tunnel. Rescue workers pour in. 500 firefighters, 22 helicopters, 100 rescue vehicles rush to the scene. But the lower end of the tunnel the train is nearest to is way up the mountainside. The only way for firefighters to reach it is on foot up the railway. What they encounter is terrifying. The train is ablaze from end to end. In such extremes of heat, the cable it hangs from could snap at any moment, sending the train hurtling down on top of them and crashing into the valley station below. 9:35. 30 minutes after the fire began, the firemen are forced to abandon the rescue attempt. There's been a total electricity failure. The power supply goes out all over the mountain. Staff at the station fight to restore the electricity. But the station is filling with thick, toxic smoke, and they're forced to escape through an emergency door. Without power, the door jams open. Now fumes escape into the Summit Station shopping mall, full of people. Employees evacuate the station and shopping area. Dozens of people escape, but there are still 4 more trapped inside. Helicopters airlift the first teams of rescuers up to the summit. Firefighters gear up to enter the smoke-filled building. 10:16. Friedrich's team enters the shopping area.